blockchain that I know. Okay, so I am now sharing my screen, madam. Yeah, is my slides visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. And this is about me in a very quickly. Like Madam said, I worked in IT for many years, and I was part of Tech Mahindra, and I was heading e-commerce practice in Tech Mahindra, and I was working with big customers like GSK, FIFA, etc. Since 2016, we are having, running this blockchain startup, Smart Chainers, and working with various, blockchain companies around the world. We also, worked with various government agencies or institutions in India. Okay, so I normally do this Ethereum technical workshop for a day, at least half a day. Now, since we have only 1 hour and 30 minutes, I will try to cover the most. And if you don't, if you feel that I'm going very fast, or if you want me to stop and do it again, please don't hesitate. I'm comfortable in interaction rather than one-sided lecture. Okay, so I'll be talking about Ethereum and the blockchain very quickly, and then I'll take you to the little app development. Hello world kind of programming. So in any programming learning process, all you need to know is the how to write a hello world. If you know how to write hello world, then you can always extend and then make a big application. So I'm going to show you today to do the hello world.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, can you make the screen full screen?
Okay.
Slideshow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, these are the technical components I'll be using it part in this session. One is Node.js based programming, and MetaMask Chrome extension is the little wallet. We will try to transfer little funds and then see how it gets transferred. And Ganache is a tool from company called Consensus, and Ganache is the test development blockchain program for practice. Anyway, we'll see that. Okay, so the blockchain, various industry leaders are predicting that blockchain will be used for many use cases. All the previous or next sessions, you would have talked about this, or there a lot of people will talk about the potentials, opportunities, etc. Today, we are not going to spend so much time in this. We will see technically how we can do programming. Okay, this is the report from the industry, and not just the industry people, the government. Most of the governments are taking blockchain technology as a serious technology to buy. Yeah, is is at the forefront. Estonia government says that all their government data is in blockchain. We are not far behind. In every state in India has their own blockchain initiatives. Last year in Tamil Nadu, we really, not last year, early, I think, yeah, a little before the COVID situation, Tamil Nadu government announced the statewide blockchain backbone infra setup for Tamil Nadu. All the government will be using the blockchain. So every government is, even Indian governments have taken blockchain technology as a serious technology. Let's we also consider blockchain is a serious technology. Blockchain is the technology for the future. Good. I'm very quickly getting into technical. Now, see, since I'm a technical guy, I'm running a company, blockchain company. I'm a CEO. At the same time, I'm the lead developer also. So I'm today talking to you all today, like I talk to my technical people. Okay, so technically, if you see blockchain, for me, blockchain is the advanced database. Why I say database? Because if you see the MVC architecture diagram, whatever programming, programming language you will use today, you will continue to continue to using it, even if you use blockchain, because blockchain comes at the blockchain is a technology that that comes at the model layer, the database layer. Yeah, if we see the left side, we had several database innovations, starting from punched cards to flat files, DBMS, RDBMS, NoSQL, and now we have got the advanced database systems. That's blockchain. Okay. Now, when we have RDBMS and NoSQL, why we need blockchain, and what uniquely the blockchain is providing in the the database stack or database evolution. Now, you would have heard that blockchain is the very advanced, very secured, etc., etc. Okay, so before moving from this slide, please note that blockchain is an advanced database. We all need to learn. How to connect with the blockchain. Like all we need to learn is the connection string to the blockchain. If you are using Oracle, if you are using a Java program, we'll be using connect string to connect the database, right? Similarly, blockchain is secured, not possible to hack. All that is there. But today, as a technical developers, we all need to learn only the connection string to blockchain. I'm going to teach you today, show you today the connection string. Okay, so this is a little recap of what you have listened or heard from previous sessions. Yeah, blockchain is a very secure technology. Why? Because blockchain is the distributed ledger technology. That means copy of the information is stored in multiple places. When you have multiple copies, it's difficult to hack, difficult to change, difficult to manipulate. So it is immutable, okay, and it is secured with advanced cryptography, etc., etc. So blockchain is a database. It's a secure database. How it is secured? Because one reason, because it is maintained, or multiple copies are maintained with multiple people unknown to each other. Since it has multiple copies and difficult to manipulate. Good. Madam, am I making sense, or am I going in right speed? I'm not too speed, right?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. So like a database, see, one side is database, another side is blockchain. This is the method that I am kind of comfortable with, because in the first slide I said blockchain is a database. Now we need to compare. See, we are learning blockchain and we know database. So it's easy if you compare with the technology that we know, then easy to relate. Okay, so in database we have Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, etc. Similarly, we have multiple technologies in blockchain. Yeah, blockchain is at the database layer, and Oracle is Bitcoin, Hyperledger, and Ethereum. Okay, so we have many blockchain technologies. This list is not the complete one, but please note that like database, in blockchain we have many frameworks, many technologies. Okay, why do we use blockchain? Okay, for what kind of purpose we use blockchain? Blockchain we use, we started using blockchain, or blockchain came into existence when people invented the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, the blockchain came into use to exchange digital assets. In Bitcoin network, Bitcoin is the digital asset. Okay, and slowly people found that it's not only digital asset. You can write programs, and programs also can stay there without anybody, without the possibility of anybody changing it. So right now, for what are the uses that we have, we are using blockchain to exchange, to manage digital assets, and then um, deploying smart contracts. Okay, so there are blockchain frameworks, there are blockchain technologies only for digital asset management or exchanging digital assets, like a Bitcoin and Litecoin kind of technologies is used only for exchanging their digital asset. Okay, so Bitcoin has Bitcoin asset, and Litecoin has Litecoin. Similarly, there are many digital asset only blockchain platforms available. Similarly, Ethereum and Hyperledger is used for only for the private blockchain, but Ethereum and EOS and other blockchains, you can have digital asset at the same time. You can write smart contract also. Smart contracts nothing but computer programs. You will write it in the blockchain layer. It is similar to Oracle triggers. Triggers you write in Oracle or in I think Microsoft SQL. I don't know whether we write triggers in MySQL, but Microsoft SQL and Oracle, we used to write triggers. Triggers are the little programs you write at the database layer. Similarly, smart contracts are the programs. Obviously you can set you can code the program that can self execute kind of code you can write. So basically, smart contracts are the computer programs that you write and deploy at the blockchain layer. Okay, because now we see the MVC blockchain comes at this layer, and this is your normal programming, and this is your Android or Apple iOS program. Here is Python or Node.js. Here you will have the model layer. Do you see my mouse moving, madam? Yeah. Okay. So here is the Ethereum will come. In the Ethereum layer, you will write smart contracts similar to Oracle triggers. Good. Okay, so like Ethereum, there are many platforms available in the market. But again, this is not complete one. Every day you will get new platforms in the market. So these are the blockchain platforms that are capable of smart contract capable platforms. Yeah. The category above is the public blockchain platform.
Participants, kindly be on mute.
Mute, please. Yeah. Okay, so the category in the top are the public platforms, and then category below is a private permissioned blockchain platforms. Okay, so very quickly you will go for a private kind of platforms if you are writing a blockchain application for a company, for a group of companies, for an institution. You will go for a private blockchain. Good. So today, though we have many smart contract capable platforms, but today we will talk about, we will learn little about the Ethereum platform, because Ethereum is the second largest blockchain network next to Bitcoin, and it has over 200,000 developers actively working on real life projects, and it's used by many global companies, and yeah, I mean it's continuously developed by the open source community. If you are part of the group, you will see improvements committed to the main code base on daily basis. Okay, and these are the some of the apps, or if you take any vertical, if you take any industry, you will have apps, applications written in Ethereum. No other frameworks, no other blockchain technology will have are having this many applications written in blockchain. So let's learn blockchain Ethereum blockchain today, and see how we can use it for our own application development. Okay, so before you consider any technology for learning, for development, these are the peripheral tools that you need to be aware, or you need to make sure that that particular platform provides this. Okay, so this, I mean, we will see one by one, yeah, in detail, but these are the stuff. So all this core and then peripheral tools make one blockchain platform as a complete platform. The first one is the blockchain core command line. In Ethereum, it's called Geth. Yeah, Ethereum has got two versions. One is Golang version, another is the C++ version. So Geth is Golang version of Ethereum. I think not many people are using C++ version, but yeah. So yeah, Geth is the blockchain core command line tool you will connect with. And then blockchain explorer is the little web application is available, is given by all the blockchain companies to query the content of the blockchain. For example, if you commit a transaction now, you need to know, you need to know whether the transaction is successfully committed or not, failed, etc. You can always do that by in the command line, but not everybody can do. So all the big blockchain companies, they provide blockchain explorer, block explorer. Yeah, so web application, we will see that. User wallets. If you create any digital assets, you need to have a blockchain wallet. So if you take Ethereum or Tron or EOS, you need to know what is the wallet product available, what is the wallet tool available for Ethereum, so that I can monitor, I can manage my digital assets. And libraries, yeah, if you mean the web3.js is the JavaScript library for Ethereum. Similarly, if you are doing program in Java, then you need to look for the library, Java library to connect with the Ethereum, to write the connection string in Ethereum to connect with your blockchain. So Java library is called Web3j, and similarly Python, yeah, there must be some other libraries. Okay, and then smart contract IDE, yeah, you need to know what is the IDE tool available to compile and deploy blockchain. Network monitor, you don't need to know this if you are using public blockchain, but if you set up blockchain for your campus, your college, you need this network monitor, because if you are setting up a blockchain, means you are setting up multiple nodes, we are talking about multiple computers. So we need to know the health of the nodes, whether the nodes are running or nodes are mining, etc. So for that, another tool is called network monitor. Okay, so this is the blockchain explorer, Ethereum blockchain explorer, and if you see the URL on top, the blockchain info is the blockchain explorer for Bitcoin. So I'll quickly show oh, sorry. So I am just sharing my presentation only. So yeah, let me share my complete computer. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So let's scan. Yeah. This is the blockchain explorer for Ethereum network. What are we seeing here? Is the what is the obviously this is the what is the price. Now yeah, the what are the blocks, latest blocks mined, and what are the if you click on the blocks, you can see the how many transactions are in this block, and then you can click one by one, and then you can see whether the transaction successful or failure, etc. Okay, so this is the blockchain explorer. Right now we are querying, we are checking the the hash, the transactions and blocks from the Ethereum blockchain. Suppose if this tool is not available, then you need to go to the command line. Only the technical folks can do. Similarly, this is the blockchain explorer for Bitcoin network. So this is the Bitcoin transactions, And this the blocks and transactions. If you click on the latest transaction, you can see someone transferred this much money to some people. Yeah, good. So this is the about the explorers. Now these are the wallets. Wallet. Okay, so if you are having Ether is the Ethereum's digital assets. Yeah, we will be using. We will be installing this Chrome extension, and then we will see this thing. Okay, so all you need to be aware now is you need to have a wallet. If you are doing a program in blockchain. Okay, so these are the tools. The Chrome extension is a very simple, lightweight program, and that will, get installed in your browser itself. So Chrome, sorry, MetaMask, Chrome extension. Okay, so we do this, you will get to this, and you will install it. Since I already have it, so it will say remove from Chrome. So if I click on the little orange fox is the tool. Okay, this is my main network, main Ethereum. I have now connected with the main Ethereum network, and this is the balance Ether balance from this network. Okay, so without any installing any big tool, I can monitor. So this is the lightweight wallet for Ethereum network. Okay. Okay, so the wallet. Next is So if we talk about wallet, then we always we need to talk about the wallet addresses also. In wallet address, sorry, in every wallet you will have public key and then private key. Your wallet address and then your private key. Okay, and your address, your public key is something that your public key or your address is a key that you will share with your friends. That if somebody is sending something to you, you will share your public key, your address, wallet address to them. Okay, private key you need to keep it with yourself. It's like email and then email password. So if somebody is sending email to you, then you will share the email address to them. So email address is the public address, is the public key. The private key is like an email password. So you will start, you will keep it with you. So yeah, so things to note here is that in every wallet, if you create every wallet, you will have public address and then private public key and then private key. Public key is the your wallet address. Okay. So Remix is the browser-based IDE tool from Ethereum. So we will use it. So with this tool, you will in the code editor you will write a program in smart contract, and then you will compile and then you will deploy it. So here compile and then run is the deploy. So we will do this in a minute now. Blockchain monitor. So these are the all the greens are the nodes, and then all the nodes are running. And think if you are using a public blockchain, we don't need to worry about this. But obviously, if you set up a private blockchain, we need to have this. Okay. Good. So very quickly, and we are yeah. It's only 12:11. I'm getting into action. We are straight away into practicals. See, Ganache is a tool from company from company called Consensus, and okay. The Consensus is founded by the one of the Ethereum founders. So so they know what the product is. Okay, so go to Google and then type Ganache. You will come here. And since I'm using in a Mac OS, automatically it detects that I should download this. Okay, so I don't need to download because I already have it. So this is the tool. Okay. Okay, so in blockchain, we said that we need to have apart from in addition to command line tool, we need to have the blockchain explorer, wallet, etc., etc. Now the Ganache is the tool that has everything for learning, for practice ourselves. So if you install Ganache, automatically, the Ganache loads with 10 addresses with 100 Ether, 100 Ethereum, balance automatically. So this is the wallet accounts. This is the block. I just now loaded this application, so I don't have, yeah, just only one block. This zeroth block is always called Genesis block. Okay, so we have zeroth block, and then no transactions. Okay, so Ganache is a tool for the practice. This tool has all-in-one tool. You have the wallet, you have the blocks, transactions, block explorer, everything you have. So you will install this. This is where these are my addresses, and this is the digital asset. 100 Ether I have, this account has. So I want to transfer this from here to here. For that, there are a couple of ways. One easiest way is to install MetaMask and then try to access the asset from the MetaMask. Okay. Super. So this is the exercise number 1, and I would like to stop it here for a minute in case if there is any questions. How many of you today attending? Let me see. How many participants? Looks like someone has a message. Left a message. No questions? Yeah. No questions is very good, but it's very bad also. There will not be any question. If the people understand everything, then there's no questions. But the opposite is also possible. If you don't understand, if they don't like, they don't want to ask any question also. Madam, you want to ask any question? No.
No, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So the exercise number 1 is that I'm going to use the MetaMask tool to access my test practice blockchain, Ganache, that is running in my local computer, and trying to access this wallet and transfer this asset. Okay, so for that, what you will do? Okay, I'll show you the MetaMask tool. This is a MetaMask, and right now this is connected with my with the Ethereum main network. This is 4.3 Ethereum available. This is real money. This real money is worth of this much money. Okay, this much dollars. Now I need to change to my local network. Okay, the way to do is localhost 8545. 8545 is the port number that blockchain is running. Let me check whether my blockchain is running in 8545. Yeah, here we can check. Sometime this will run in different port. So my local blockchain, test blockchain, is running in 8545. If it is running in different port, you can always go here and server. You change a different port number and then restart it. So I don't need to restart now because my blockchain is running in the default 8545 port. So step number 1, I connect my wallet with my local blockchain. Yeah, this is the local blockchain. Okay, good. Okay, so these are the addresses that are there already in the in my MetaMask, but none of the addresses has the balance. That means whatever address I'm having here are not there in my blockchain. So step number one, I have connected my MetaMask with my local blockchain. Now I need to import this address into my wallet. If you go to wallet, if you go to my wallet, what are the import options available? Yeah, so I go here and then do import account. Yeah, import account. If I know my account's private key, I can import. If I know the JSON file of my wallet, I can import. Okay, so JSON file you will get it in the main network, but in the test network we can always see what is my private key is. For example, go here and if you click on this key, it will show the private key. Okay, so you click on this, copy, Control C, and OK, and I go to MetaMask. MetaMask, import account, copy paste the private key, import. Good. So I have imported my wallet that is in account 22. Yeah. So this is I'm seeing the balance now. Okay. So let me transfer this little balance to some other account. Okay, so let me import the second account also. Okay, import private key. Okay, import. This is account number 23. This also has yeah. So you can expand this to appear in a full browser window. Now, account number 22 is the first one. So I change something here. Account details. Okay. KCG1. Okay. Okay. And the account number 2. This is Sona. Sona is college in Salem. Last week I had session. KCG202. Okay. Good. So I have imported account number 1 and 2 from my test blockchain into my MetaMask. So this is account number 1 and account number 2. Please pay attention. Here we don't have any block, any transactions. Okay. Now what I am trying to do, the exercise number 1, I am transferring little asset to another account. KCG1 to KCG2, let's say 10 ethers. Okay, I'm transferring the test ether, and next confirm. Okay, by transferring little fund, yeah. So we get the confirmation by transferring the fund. What I have done, I have transferred 10 ether. In blockchain term, in technical term, I have created a transaction. Okay, and I have created block number 1, and you will see the balance reflecting here. So account number 1 to account number 2, 10 ether are transferred. Now I have block 1, transaction 1. So let's create one more transaction. I send some more transfer between my accounts. Yeah, and maybe 5. Next, confirm. Okay, so yeah, go to Ganache, transaction 2, block 2, and then balance. Okay, so all clear, madam? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fine.
Super.
Yeah.
Okay, so now okay, so this first part is over. First part is we try to access the blockchain from wallet, and then we try to transfer little asset. By doing that, you are creating transaction, and blockchain is creating the block. Okay, good. So the next in the session is we are going to write programs. We are going to develop applications. If you are doing that, you need to know. See, now I was trying to access my blockchain from my wallet from some tool. Now, if you do programming, then we need to know in program how to write. What are the commands to connect your local blockchain, local node? Yeah, so these are the commands. Okay. So I'm going to. Okay, so this is Node.js console, and before going here, I have yeah, I have put this repository for for you all to download and see. So this repository has the normal Node.js application, smart contract, everything. Okay, so we will come to that, but I have downloaded this, and then I'm going to do a little demo. Okay, so we need to know we need to connect the local blockchain through command line, so that through program we can connect. Okay, I'll do this very quickly. You need to have this library, Web3 library. For that, this is the command to install the library. Node package manager install, like this. So in other technology, in Java, you will have a similar command, but the point is you need to have a library to connect to the node. Okay. So let me copy paste this. Yeah, it's not working because PowerPoint did something with the backspace. Okay, good. So I have loaded the library. Now this is the command to connect your blockchain, local blockchain. Okay. Your local blockchain address is HTTP 127.0.0.1 and it's running in 8545. So you need to run this command. Yeah, possible. Okay, right. Good. So now we have connected with the local the blockchain server. So get block number. Okay. So this is the just to check whether we really connected with the local blockchain. So this is the block number 2 that you see here, block number 2. Yeah. So good. So I'm not going to spend too much time here, but these are the command line tools available. But like I said in the beginning, if you don't have the blockchain explorer, you will do this to make a query of account. So I'm trying to run another command, get balance of this address. Okay. Okay, it is a big number. If you divide by this, you will see the correct number, 84.999. So this is the balance that you see here. Okay, good. So let me move on to the next portion. So like that, there are many commands available. You can try one by one. So if you run only this, these are the methods in a functions list. You can try one by one. Good. So similarly, yeah, this is what we did just now. Okay, good. Let me check my time. Yeah, we have 45 minutes. Good. So 45 minutes is good enough time for learning little application. Okay. Next is dApp development, and we are going to develop a little student database. student database is a little web application. The first you will have the welcome page or index page with some menus, and then one data entry and then query. Okay, for that we are going to use Node.js application. Okay. Like I said in the beginning, the blockchain is at the bottom of the layer, the application in the architecture. We will use HTML for the views and Node.js for the programming controller layer, and then Ethereum blockchain for the smart contract layer. Good. Like I said in the beginning that smart contracts are the program that you'll write in the blockchain layer, and Ethereum uses the Solidity. Solidity is the smart contract language used in Ethereum. Similarly, other technologies will have their own languages. Hyperledger uses Java, Golang, even Node.js for smart contract development. In Ethereum, you can use only Solidity. There used to be one more language called Serpent or something, but it's no more used. Okay, and Solidity is a new programming technology, and it has all the all the features that object-oriented programming has. So it supports libraries, user defined functions, inheritance, etc. You have to learn more about Solidity. This is the link. I have shared this presentation with the madam. You can take it. Good. So we are going to take a simple smart contract program, compile it, and then run it in the blockchain. Super. Okay. We will use Remix IDE, but Remix IDE is not the only tool that you can use for compiling and deploying. We can use Trufflesuite, and you can use the command line tool also. But nobody's using Get command line compilation program. But a lot of people when you have simple simple programs, people use in Remix. When you have enterprise level application, people use Truffle. We use a lot of Truffle tools for compiling and deploying the smart contracts. Good. So first up, you will clone it and then install it. npm install is the command that installs all the dependencies and libraries required, and then node space app.js is the command to run the node application. Okay. Now we will come to this. We will come to this section, but I will show the Remix IDE and then show you how to compile the program. Now let me open another browser. Okay, so Solidity, and these are the the stuff you see on my in my Solidity browser left side is the list of programs that I was I've been working on. See, the certificates SOL is the program that we are going to use it now. Okay, now if you download let me do little KCG Ethereum. Yeah, if you clone this folder, you will see app folder, that is the Node.js program, and then you will see the smart contract folder also. In the smart contract, you will see the certificates.sol. The same certificates smart contract Solidity program I am showing here. Okay. Okay, so the smart contract program always starts with the this from the first line, the pragma solidity command. The first line of the code has to be always inform the compiler what version, what solidity version you use to write the program, because um, Ethereum is managed by the big large open source community. They make improvements every day. So the of of the compiler changes almost every day. So it's very important, because one command or one statement or one command um, in one version maybe working, but the future versions they quickly make it obsolete or deprecated. So it's very important you always mention the compiler version on top, the first line of the code. Okay, so the your contract program always start with the keyword contract. It's like class in Java program, you start with the class, right? So similarly. Okay, so contract and then certificates. Now, this is the data definition. This is where we define our data structure, define our field specifications. In database, we have data definition and then data manipulation, right? So in smart contract in Ethereum smart contract, we write both in the same program. So this is where this is the if you say database, this is the table. These commands, these statements we write to store our data. Okay, so this is my field specification, and I'm assigning or I'm storing this particular data against this ID in this table. This is the hash table kind of thing. This is how you will store your data in blockchain. If you have to have one more table, you will write one more like this. Okay, good. So this is the table, and these are the methods to push data and to pull data, put and gets. Okay, I'm clear. Hello. Okay. Right. So this is the
Yes, sir.
okay, good. So this is the code writer. You will use it for this particular practice. You open this contract SQL and then copy paste it here. Once it's done, now you go to compile the code. The version is automatically detected, but if it is not there, you will select it. So you will compile the code. Right. There is no problem. Yeah. So let me do something here. So compile. Okay. So the error. So if you make any mistake, compilation mistake, then it will show the error here. So compile again. Okay, you have compiled, and once the compilation is over, then you go to deploy this blockchain. Sorry, deploy this program in the blockchain. Okay, which blockchain I'm running? The test blockchain. Test blockchain. Um, test blockchain. What happened? Yeah, test blockchain. I have two transactions created, two blocks, created. Now I'm going to deploy the smart contract. Why I'm here? Because we will be creating blocks and transactions here. Okay. Now in the contract deploy, you can have this JavaScript VM is the browser built-in virtual machine. You can deploy the contract. You can see how it works. And injected Web3 is the connection that you have made with your MetaMask. I am deploying in my MetaMask. My MetaMask is connected, with my blockchain. So what is this? Right. So okay. So I'm deploying my smart contract through injected Web3 means you are deploying your smart contract in your local blockchain through MetaMask. Okay. So let's do that. So deploy MetaMask will pop up. It will ask my permission. Why it asks my permission? In blockchain, writing activity costs money. Okay, now block this particular tool is asking whether I am ready to spend this much money. These are all test money. But if you deploy your blockchain, your smart contract in the main public blockchain, you will be spending money. Yeah, that's why the my wallet is alerting or asking my confirmation. Okay, so I say confirm. It if you come down, yeah, the confirmations is here. Now, once you deploy your contract, you will see this one, certificate deployed. This is the address. If you click on this, these are the methods. These are the methods we have written in the smart contract. The red method is the right methods, and these are all read queries. Okay, so why it is red? Because if you write anything, it's going to cost money. Okay, good. So now we have deployed the smart contract in our local blockchain through MetaMask. Now let me go and see what happened to my blockchain. Yeah, see third block created. We go to transaction. I see third transactions. The third transaction is called contract creation. Okay, if I click on that, this is the program. This is the program that I have deployed in blockchain now. Okay. Now I have deployed this program, with this data, field definition or data structure, etc. Now, how I'm going to store any data there? How I'm going to store any student information there? Let's look at it now. Okay, so I have deployed my smart contract in blockchain. Now, these are the commands that are required to connect or to interact with your smart contract. So we saw these two commands just now. Now, in addition to this, we need to know what is this. We need to know the contract address. Okay. So as soon as you deploy your smart contract in blockchain, you will, if there is no problem, you will get this address. This is the address. If I copy the address, let me show you what the address is. Yeah, this is the address. This is the my contract address deployed here. Okay, and maybe let's go and see whether we can see the contract address in blockchain. Yeah, created. This is the contract address. Yeah, this is the creator and this is the contract address. Okay, so to interact with the deployed smart contract, you need contract address. Okay, so this is the parameter number one. Parameter number two, if, in the presentation, if you see ABI definition, AB, application binary interface, yeah, ABI array. Okay, from where you will get that? In the compilation process, when you compile the program, the compilation process creates many outputs. Okay, if you click on the compilation details, you will see many outputs. Okay, many data. We are not interested in all this. We need only ABI or bytecode. Okay, so if you need to copy the ABI, How ABI is going to look like? I'll show you here. This is the ABI. This is called ABI array. This is put it in the array. This will have the the method name, method parameters, etc. So to interact with your deployed smart contract, you need to have, you need to know what the your smart contract ABI is, and you need to know what is the contract address. Okay. Suppose, suppose if you are using public, Ethereum blockchain, I am deploying some contract in Chennai. If I need to share with my, customer or my developer in US, I need to provide these two data to him. Then only he can interact with the deployed smart contract. Okay. So the parameters are the contract address and then the ABI file, ABI array. Okay. Now this is the the repository I cloned from the GitHub, and smart contract folder, address, so certificates file, and then this is the my application, Node.js application. I have the views are HTMLs, and this is the app.js is the my Node.js program. Okay, so I have already copied the ABI definition here and assigned the ABI definition in a variable. Now I'm going to copy the paste the address. This is the contract. This is my contract address. My local blockchain is running in this particular IP and then port. If it is running in different server, possibly I will have different IP address. So okay, this is running in locally, so I'm putting it in local host address. Okay, so let me come out of this. Yeah, you will do npm install. After npm install, you will run like this: node app.js. My application is running in port number 3000. Okay, so let me access my application. 3000. Okay, welcome. This is my menu. The menu is coming from where is it? Yeah, the menu is coming from the views. Okay, so automatically as soon as I load the program, it goes to the menu. How? Yeah, this is my root path and it loads menu.html. This is the menu.html. Okay, in the menu.html, I have further options. Add a student record, etc. If I click on this, it goes to this form. If I click on this, it goes to this form. Okay. Now let's go and add a student record. Okay. Add student record. Maybe 1000. Name Saravana. Maybe 95. Okay. If I say submit, this is the my transaction reference. Okay. Whatever information, whenever you write anything in blockchain, you will get the transaction reference. Whether the transaction is successful, failure, that is later part. Okay, so first you will get the transaction reference. Okay, I have created a new transaction. That means I have created something new here. Okay, this is the contract deploy. This is the contract call. I have called a contract. I have done something. I have written I have saved some data. Okay, and if you go to block, you will see new block there. Okay, now let's go to the application. Go back. View student result list. Yeah, one student data is added. This is the data. Okay, so let's add one more data. Maybe Rajesh 95 pass 2. View student. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I have done is in this program I call the menu entry. I'm just showing the form. Post whatever entered in the body. I'm assigning it in a variable, roll number, name, etc. This is the smart contract. I am calling the smart contract function from the program. Put certificate data. Put certificate data method. We have it in the block in the smart contract. put certificate data. Where is it? Put certificate data. I'm calling this method from my Node.js program. Put certificate data. These are the parameters. Now get certificate data. Let's see whether we can get 1000. What is stored in 1000? We can see here. See here. This is like you interact with your database directly. Okay, so this is the you are interacting with your smart contract from this IDE, but this is the interaction from the application. Okay, so I think I'm done, madam, very fast. So now I stop here and then ask questions or let people do do the exercise.
Sir, one doubt.
Yes,
Like,
please.
yeah. So what I'm asking, like you told that on top of Ethereum we need smart contract, and using Solidity we can Solidity is the language using which we can develop smart contracts, right? But here you are using Node.js. This Node.js is similar to Solidity, or it is based on the Solidity?
Yes. I'll go back to this a slide. Yeah, Solidity smart contract is at this layer in the blockchain layer. Okay, here. Okay. Smart contract, the SOL code, Solidity code, you will write, you will deploy it in your blockchain. This one, like you create table in Oracle. Okay, you access your database from here, from Node.js. You push data.
It's a web application. Okay.
Exactly, web application, exactly. Now, if you have mobile application, what will happen is you will interact from your Android to your blockchain. So please understand, blockchain is like database. Solidity is a programming, little programs you write at the blockchain layer. You understand the Oracle triggers?
Yes.
So Solidity is like a triggers. It's like database triggers.
Okay. While you are writing web application, you are basically dealing with blockchain network. So
Yes. See, in this, what I have HTML, I have Node, I have blockchain. See, I was trying to push data and pull data, right? I was trying to push student records and then pull student records. Okay, because I have the student records in my Ethereum blockchain, local blockchain. The smart contract is at the Ethereum blockchain level layer. No, still you are not convinced? Hello? Hello? Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, can you please share the slides so that we can practice these basic program with Solidity?
Yes. It is with the madam. Yeah, I have already given to her. You can take it from her.
And one more thing, sir. The GitHub sharing, sharing option. Yes, it is.
It is there in the PPT. You can pull it.
Okay, sir.
How to pull? This is the commands. Git clone. This is the line. It's there in the presentation. You will clone this and then cd npm install. If you, npm install, and then this is how you will run the program. Before running this program,
yes, sir.
You will deploy the contract, and then you will put the contract address. Remember, I was doing it here. You will deploy the contract, and then you will put the contract address here.
ABI. Yes.
Yeah. Now ABI anyway is there. Okay. But contract address you will put it here. Okay. And these are the
Okay.
contract. These are the contract addresses that I was using it in a previous session. So whenever I load a new blockchain, I'll be running deploying and then putting the new contract address.
Okay. Thank you.
Good. So what's your name? Where are you from?
Sir, my name is Nihar.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a research scholar. I'm doing my PhD at NIT Meghalaya.
Meghalaya.
Yeah, Nihar. My area is also, sir, in this blockchain application development.
Super, super. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, madam.
Yeah, can we use the Python for this blockchain programming?
Yes. You can use Python programming, but I'm afraid that you can use wait a minute. Yeah, I think you can use all your language preference above this, not below this.
Okay.
Yeah. But there are ways to deploy Python smart contracts. But but again, people what they do is they convert the Python code into Solidity code and then deploy Solidity code in the layer. But whatever in programming it will come on the top on the Node.js layer, control layer, and then view layer.
Okay. Okay. So for control layer, view layer, we can use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blockchain layer, even Ethereum supports only Solidity.
Okay. Okay. So we have to convert those programs to the Solidity.
Yeah, exactly. So
Is
rather
there
than
any tool?
no, I think if you go to Medium, you can see. If you go to Google, and then you can see. But rather than converting, it's better to learn Solidity. It's very simple to learn. It's like normal
Okay.
English.
So there is no ready-made tool that convert the Python programs to the Solidity.
I recently saw one. Let's see. I mean, we can do it. Google today just now.
Okay. So
Python smart contract Ethereum. I saw recently, there was a tool to convert your Python code into Solidity code, etc. But Ethereum is not providing, but because this is like a code translator, code,
Okay.
yeah. So when it goes to Ethereum, it has to be, Solidity code.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the.
Sir, here already you have a Ethereum network. That's why you have shown the demo. But while we are deploying in your laptop, how to establish the Ethereum and Solidity, or they are giving ready-made code?
No. See, I'm running in my laptop, but this is the test. This is the test. Ganache is the test blockchain. Okay, and I am using, in this program, I'm using the local blockchain that is running in my local machine. 127, 0.0.01 is the local host address.
Loopback.
Okay, yeah.
Loopback.
Yeah. So local address. But see, these are the two lines of code you will use it for connecting a blockchain node. Okay. So I'm using my local blockchain. Let me connect the the public node, for example. So okay, I loaded the library. Now this is the address. Okay, this is the command to connect to blockchain. This is the local blockchain IP. Now I also have given the way to connect the public blockchain. So this is the command. You will run it to connect to a public blockchain.
Oh.
Yes, sir. But I'm asking that how to establish that blockchain network in local computer. Have you given those commands? That's what I'm asking.
Yes. I was showing you in the in the beginning. Go to Google. Okay. Ganache download. I was doing this in the beginning.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have seen. Okay, Ganache is the suit, right?
Yes, exactly. So you go here, and it will show this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Ganache is the what?
Test
It is the
practice tool. Practice blockchain tool for Ethereum.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Similarly, you can there are methods to connect your public blockchain. You can do the whatever queries that we did. We can do the interaction with your public blockchain also. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So there is a question in the chat box.
Let me see.
Shall I read it for you?
I am already there, but I'm not seeing chat meeting only available to. Yeah, it's not for me. Okay. Okay. Please read it because it's not available for me. Yeah.
Okay. There is a question from Mr. Jay Sharmila. Mr. Jay Sharmila. Question is, the Remix ID is online compiler or we need to download it?
So everything online. You go to browser. I mean, if you go to browser and yeah, it will. You don't need to download anything. No download required.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, one second.
Yeah.
Did you come through this FDP ID or did you come through your guest login?
I did log in. I did use the FTP ID first, and then you kind of gave a new link, and then I used a new link. The new link did not ask anything.
Okay, sir, because the guest IDs or for the guest IDs, the chat windows are blocked. That's why I got.
No problem. So, we are
Yeah.
end of the session, so it's too late to realize that.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. The participant, please unmute and ask any questions directly to sir.
Okay. Yeah, this is me.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, can we use Ethereum for permissioned network, sir?
Permissioned, yes, we can.
We can use. We can use.
Yes.
Okay.
We can use, and yeah, I will also show a lot of private blockchains that we have created for companies. Okay, so let me see. Explorer.
Sir, to use Ethereum for a permissioned network, do we have to pay some Ether, sir?
No. Okay, so this is the private blockchain or permissioned blockchain that we created for a company from Dubai. Okay, so this is a real estate company. We created a blockchain for them. Okay, this is permissioned blockchain. Yeah, you don't need to pay Ether. You don't need to pay anybody. Even you can download the source code, and then you do the configurations, and then you will run it within your permissioned peers. This is one, and yeah, many. Saintway, the South Korean company.
Sir, excuse me,
Yes.
sir. Sir, we need to create the Ethereum blockchain. We need to know smart contract. Is it correct, sir? Without smart contract, we need not to create the blockchain as well.
See, madam, creating blockchain means you will be installing blockchain node in multiple. Sorry, you will be setting up a blockchain network. That means you will install blockchain, program in multiple nodes and connect, and then blockchain network you will set up. And once the network is set up, then you write applications. Suppose if you are running if you are developing a a blockchain network for the college for KCG, we will set up the network. 10 nodes, and then you will set up the network, and then you write applications. For example, attendance and payroll, all that applications you will write. It's like any other application development. If you are developing an Oracle application, what you will do, you will create tables and then objects, right? So that the table creation and all that you will do in Oracle. So similarly, the table creation and then logic for the table, etc., you will write it in smart contract. And then to access your table, to access your student record, you will write other applications, normal programming applications. Am I making any sense, madam, or hello? No,
Hello?
not. Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Can you suggest some good book or authentic site for blockchain to understand the concepts and material?
There are many. Ethereum.org is the Ethereum's website. They have lot of material, exercise, and Truffle. Sorry, Ethereum and Truffle. Suite has lot of exercise and samples, etc., etc.
Okay. And any good book?
I think don't go for a book.
Okay. So online I can get the material.
Yes, because all the people download stuff from internet, they put it in a book and sell it. So
Okay. Okay.
spending money on book is out of fashion now.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, welcome.
Very nice
Any
and
other
informative session, sir.
questions?
Sorry, I do this program for half a day at least, because I normally do this in a classroom, so that I go to each and every participant, and then how it runs in their computer, etc., etc. And so just because I saw it was 1.5 hours, I had to rush very fast. So possible that you guys would have missed in the pace. So so please take them. Thank you. Please take the material and then try to practice, or you can leave a message to me. I can support you also offline also. By the way, by the way, this is the second session of mine with KCG. I think last year October, I think I did a full day course at KCG, and two guys from KCG college are working in my company as in they started as interns, now they are employee. So yeah, we go to colleges and identify bright guys, and then teach them blockchain and then make them work in our company.
Hello, sir. Please
Yes.
share your contact details, mail ID for future contact.
Yes, it is there in the PPT, but let me okay, this one. Let me share my screen.
Sir,
Yeah, do you see it?
yes, sir.
Yeah, do you see my contact details in the slide?
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah.
knowing the system. Sir, please excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. Somebody's talking. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, is it possible to implement the blockchain in the healthcare industry, sir?
In which industry, madam?
Healthcare, sir.
Obviously.
So because patient healthcare data are more secure and confidential data, where we can collect.
Yeah. See, there are many applications or use cases already implemented in healthcare. For example, where blockchain is used, like wherever the records should be wherever there is a requirement to store the record without possibility of manipulation by anybody. So the healthcare industry is the immediate industry that that will adapt blockchain next to the finance. And there are many applications are already developed in blockchain for healthcare.
So shall we wind up the session? We are running short of time now. Any other questions?
I have
Participants,
one doubt,
you're
ma'am.
winding up the session. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay.
Sir, in India, any hospital implemented in blockchain concept, sir? In India,
Any hospitals? No, your question was any hospitals, right? Any hospitals you asked me, right? No, yeah. Your question was any
blockchain concept in.
Yeah, exactly. So your question was any hospitals in India?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No hospitals in India yet. No hospitals will do. Okay. No, listen. No hospitals will do because hospitals may because it's a accountability. You see, most of the hospitals in India are run by the private business people, so they don't want to share. They always want to filter, manipulate, and show the data to the public. For example, even when Jayalalitha Madam was admitted in Apollo, nothing was transparent manner. Nobody wants to be in the transparency field. So it is the government. It is the governments that should enforce that all the hospitals, all the patient records, all the health records should be in blockchain. So no private hospitals will voluntarily go for it. No, nobody will go. So it has to be from the authority.
Okay.
Yeah, because blockchain is all about accountability and transparency. So the private companies will not voluntarily go for transparency and then accountability. So they are for making money and by manipulating the records.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, sir. So participants, the feedback link is given in the chat box. Kindly fill it. Sir, on behalf of KCG College of Technology and Department of CSE, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Mr. Sarvana Kumar Malaichami, CEO Smart Chainers, for giving an excellent coverage on the topic Ethereum theory and practice. Thank you so much, and looking forward to attend many of your future sessions. Thank you so much, sir. It was really an eye-opener for all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Bye.